Allie is with us in Houston, Texas. Hey, Allie, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can Chris and I help?
I'm actually going through a refi right now. I'm going from a 30-year to a 15-year, and I'm just having trouble calculating my break-even point.
Because you're trying to use the payment. Use the interest rate difference. What is your current interest rate, and what will your new interest rate be?
My current interest rate is 3.75, and the new 15-year will be 2.125.
Okay, so we got 1.875 difference, right? Did I do that right?
No, 163.
Yeah. 1.6. I can't do it. Okay. Crap. I'll round it. All right. So let's call it 1.5 spread. All right. What's your balance?
Okay. My balance right now is 358.
Okay. So every 1% you save is $3,500 a year, and so we put another $1,750 on top of that, and so we're at $4,500 or so, $4,600, right? And so we're saving $4,000 or $5,000 a year in interest as a result of this, regardless of the payment. That's what your actual savings is. The payment is the rest. Other portions of the payment in either case are going to principal. So this is the change in your expense, which is your interest. And so if you're saving $5,000 a year in interest, which just sounds like with my rounding errors, you're probably over $5,000. What is your closing costs on this?
My closing cost is between $4,000 to $5,000, and I have to bring another $10,000 to the table to get my LTV to 80%.
Yeah, but that doesn't affect it either, okay? Because that's actually principal. So your actual expense is only $5,000. So your break-even period is about a year.
Okay, that's awesome.
And you're going to keep the house longer than a year. You do this deal.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it for about 18 months. That's kind of my target right now.
It's borderline to screw with all this.
Yeah, why 18 months? What are you going to go do after that?
I don't know. I'm just a very indecisive person. I don't know what the future holds for me. So I know for the next 18 months I'm going to be here.
Okay. Well, listen.
Well, yeah, do the refinance.
Do the refinance, because you're just waffling and stuff. And so you put yourself in a good position. Within a year, you're going to recoup. It's a smart move overall, without a doubt. And when your next real estate buys, go with the 15-year fixed on the front end. Okay, let's not have to redo and update and clean up all that. 15-year fixed right out of the gate if you're not paying cash.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, but the way, folks, the recap is, what is your change in interest rate?
Hold on, I'm going to write this down. All right, change in interest rate.
That is the only expense you're saving on.
Right.
Everything else, the payment change from a 30 to a 15 is a principal change.
That's right.
But the only thing you're actually saving is, so if you're saving 1% on $200,000, you're saving $2,000 a year. And if it costs you $3,600 to do that refinance, you got a break-even period of just under 2 years. You divide your expense by your savings, and that gives you your break-even point.
There you go.
It's a break-even analysis. And if you're not going to keep the house longer than that, and most of the time the general rule of thumb is it needs to be under 3 years. Your break-even point needs to be under 3 years. Because something's going to screw up or flip or something during that 3 years. The average mortgage stays on the books only 5.6 years in America due to refinances and resales.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so,
which makes sense. But you've also said you would not refinance just to lower the rate.
No, just to lower the term.
Lower the term, I'm sorry. We definitely do for a rate. If you've got a 1% or better rate difference, then it's something to really take a good look at. But not to refi, just to reduce term.
Yeah, if you, the reason, and just run it out and say, how quickly do I get my closing costs back with the interest saved?
Right.
And is that 3 years or under, and am I going to stay in the house that long? Then the answer is yes, you refinance. If you have a 30, let's say you're sitting on a 3% 30 right now, you're not refinancing that. You're not refinancing a 3%er because you're not going to get enough savings. If you got a 3% 30, just calculate what a 15-year payment is, calculate what your 30-year payment is, and make the difference as an extra principal payment, and it will pay off magically in 15 years.
That is true.
Because it's the reason it pays off in 15 years is the extra principal payments.
Right.
The interest doesn't change that. And you know, sometimes people get the idea because they look at an amortization schedule that, oh, I paid all the interest on the front end. No, you paid the interest on the outstanding balance the entire time you had an outstanding balance.
That's exactly right.
Because the way amortizations work on mortgages, if you have a traditional mortgage, not a rip-off mortgage of some kind, it's calculated like simple interest. How much interest is charged that month on that outstanding balance, and all the rest of your payment other than that amount is going to principal. And so anytime you reduce the principal, you reduce that amount of interest.
Right.
And it slides you forward in the AM schedule.
That's right. And I want to warn people out there, with all the rates that are happening, you want to know the difference between an APR and your contract rate. Okay, the contract rate is the advertised thing. The APR is what your payment's based on.
Yeah.
So any other points or hidden fees are going to be inside the APR. So when you call a bank or lending institution, you want to know, I want to know the contract rate and I want to know the APR. You want to know both of those.
Yeah, you can get snookered messing with just one and not the other.
Yes, you
apples
can,
and oranges.
without a doubt.
It's a good discussion because it's a great time to refinance right now.
It
Rates
really
are
is.
way down.
Yes.
But only if you're going to stay in the house.